You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shasheena. Rolle. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news: controversy unfolding in the Bahamas Public Service Union. While on Grand Bahama this past weekend, BPSU President John Pinder told reporters that an agreement was reached concerning a career path for social workers in the country. But social workers here on Grand Bahama say there is no agreement because they do not approve of the proposed document. Sabrina Brown reports.
Mr. Pinder must know the document is all about us. In social services, it's about our profession.
Social worker and shop steward with the BPSU, Julita Ingram, says workers at the Department of Social Services are disappointed that Union President John Pinder went to the media with a document that they do not support. She says the workers received a copy of the career path only hours before Pinder's press conference on Saturday, and they did not have the opportunity to give their input. After reviewing the document, the union representative believes it is not beneficial to the majority of the workers.
There's far too many layers between trainee welfare officers and senior welfare officers. We are saying that Social Work 3 should be omitted. We are saying that the 3 positions are inadequate and will further frustrate the hardworking social workers who are at the bottom of the spectrum. To us, we believe it was created to ensure that individuals remain where they are for a longer period of time. The career path gives no room for advancement or upward mobility for workers who have earned their master's degree and are currently employed at social services. And to me, this is unfair.
Ingram says the proposed career path impedes the advancement of the social work profession, and she's questioning how the current document came about.
Which international body is the current proposed career path compared to? Who comprised the formulation of the committee? Did it include workers at every level?
According to Ingram, the proposed career path drafted in 2002 was more in line with international standards.
That proposed career path was viewed by existing social workers with their doctorate degree, like persons like Dr. Carolyn Rule and Dr. Darlene Cargill Rule. Though they interviewed that, we wanted to know what happened to that particular document, because to me, when we had to look at that document more suit the purpose of social services or social workers forward in the future.
Ingram says the workers are grateful to the minister for trying to implement a professional career path which is long overdue, but she's appealing to the minister to take a closer look at the document before making a final decision. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
The minister responsible for social services was on Grand Bahama last night to address a special town meeting. Her mission: to raise awareness of the need to protect the children of this country. Natalie Martinborough has the story.
The Minister for Social Services and Community Development, the Honourable Melanie Griffin, says the care and the protection of children is a real concern. In 2011, there were 107 cases of child abuse, neglect and abandonment on Grand Bahama. In 2012, there were 140 cases. Minister Griffin says cases of abuse are often underreported, and these numbers could be just a hint of the scope of what is actually taking place.
We know that Grand Bahama has been sorely impacted by the worldwide recession. The loss of employment has resulted in the separation of families, with one or perhaps even both parents traveling to another island to seek employment, leaving their children with other relatives or friends where adequate supervision may not always be provided. Additionally, the inability of parents to provide even the basic necessities for their children can sometimes cause anxiety and frustration, and may result in them taking out their anxiety and frustration on their children, which could very well lead to abuse.
She says despite the best efforts of parents, there are perpetrators who prey on children. She warns that in the hustle and bustle of trying to provide for their children, parents must pay attention to what their children are doing. She notes that modern technology has created a new challenge.
On an increasing basis, we are seeing photos, videos, and comments of minors appearing on the internet in some very compromising positions, or children lured to meetings with sexual predators through chat rooms on the internet. People entering into chat rooms that your children are on the internet, talking to them as though they are their peers, their age, making plans to meet them in the mall or to come to their home when you are not there. You know, these things, this is the changing world. This is the face of the changing world that our children have to deal with today.
She says as a result, those charged with caring for children must make adjustments in order to remain relevant. She urged parents to set ground rules that should be monitored and enforced.
We have an obligation to teach them how to protect themselves. True protection lies in creating a child who is internally resistant, whose inner strength will make him or her less vulnerable to the approaches of a child molester and the various threats that exist in our society. We must create a child who will make the right choices in the face of any temptation or coercion or bullying by schoolmates, friends, family, and strangers.
Natalie Martin Burrows, ZNS Network News.
Police crime-fighting efforts on Grand Bahama are apparently paying off as 3 persons were hauled before the Freeport Magistrates Court this morning. Joan Davis-Rolle has the details.
Police officials believe that they have foiled yet another crime ring here on Grand Bahama, this time in the Lakaya area. The male trio charged Tuesday in connection with this latest incident are Javado Davis, age 20, Shaquan Ewing Burrows, 18, along with a male juvenile, all residents of Hudson Estates, Freeport. The men are charged with allegedly stealing from homes in the Churchill Road area. The items reportedly stolen range from a Rolex watch, a laptop, to jewelry and electronic games. Second in command of the Eastern District Assistant Superintendent of Police, Loretta Mackey.
One of the main concerns for officers here in the Eastern Division and of course in the Grand Bahama District is the house breaking and stealing that we've been seeing. It's been going on for a number of years. But in recent time, we have had some successes, and today we want to showcase what we would have done with our hard-working officers here in the Eastern Division. Over the years, we have cracked house-breaking rings. We have had a number last year, throughout the year, not only in the Eastern Division, but also in Central. But because of where the persons are, more populated, and a lot of persons are out of home, these are persons who are just taking the opportunity to prey on others who are not at home at the time. Now, even you might find that there's a decrease during the summer or Easter break when the children are out of school and someone is always home. But you'd find that these persons are taking the opportunity to knock on the door. If nobody answers, then they know that probably nobody's at home. Or even if the person take a little while to get to the door for whatever reason. Or if they see an alarm system, they still want to check and see if it's working.
ASP Mackey is sounding this alarm as both businesses and homes have been hit by culprits in recent times.
Those persons who are buying stolen goods, for example, this Rolex that was recovered. You cannot purchase this Rolex watch that the complainant would have paid $1,800 for $100. So those persons, the police are going to deal with them too. And for a brand new laptop that costs some $1,200, maybe $600. But even if you were to buy it in Florida where you're saying that you would have gotten it on sale, you cannot get this laptop for $75. And to receive this, that is what we call it, receiving, it's an offense. And they will be charged and put before the courts.
The senior police officer is advising members of the public to become more proactive.
We want to say to those persons who are out there, they may not be able to afford an alarm system. We want them to call our urban renewal officers who are on the grounds in the island to form crime watch group. In the event they're not at home or they don't have an alarm system, then their neighbors can be their eyes and ears for those persons who are engaged in criminal activity.
Joan Davis-Rolle, ZNS Network News.
Now, the case against the trio was adjourned to August of this year. In other news, a disturbing discovery near the North Star Resort today. Officers with the Fisheries Department say it once again points to the need for increased penalties for those who violate the fisheries laws. Megan Shepard has the story.
17 bags of rotting crawfish were discovered near a canal in Fortune Bay. Assistant Fisheries Superintendent Clement Campbell says he received a tip and went to the area around noon on Tuesday, where he found hundreds of crawfish scattered about the area.
It seems as if it's been here for about about a week or less. But the information that I received was pretty accurate, and based on the intelligence that's out there, we were waiting to see who's going to come and get it, but nobody showed up. And they does this different places, in the Dover Sound area, in the Grand Bahama Highway area, the Queens Cove area, from different parts of the island. They just come and drop it off and wait for it to be picked up. But this area here, because of the moving of persons, they weren't able to come and retrieve it. So nobody never get caught. I was waiting for them though.
While officials did not catch the culprits, Campbell says they are following strong leads. He says based on observations at the scene, at least 85% of the crawfish are undersized.
Buzzard is taken over. It's about 17 bags. So 17 bags would be approximately over 400 pounds of crawfish. So it is all going to waste. I ask the public, if they see this kind of activity going on, please call the department or call me at 6460611 or call the police at 911. Even quicker.
While he could not speak specifically to new equipment, Campbell says this summer the Department of Fisheries will receive some upgrades to help deter such criminal activity on the seas. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues right after this.